Howdy! Welcome to Caching in the Northwest. You know this is the official podcast of GeoWoodstock 18 right here in the Great Pacific Northwest. It's Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific. I'm Chris of the Northwest, and we're here to talk about geocaches and geocachers from all around the globe. So while you're checking to see if the kiddie pool still holds water, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
Oh, and you're going to need it this weekend, from what I hear.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be a scorcher. Record-setting
temperatures. It's going to be more like
here.
a soup pot, isn't it?
Something like
Instead
that.
of a kiddie pool. Whew.
All right, well, welcome to Thursday night. I'm with Sound, and that means it's time to bring in... I
knew something wasn't right.
Yeah, we'll welcome our guest, GSM times 2, even though there's only one of him. So welcome back.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to come back. I appreciate it. I think we're going to have a great show.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, you're usually really active in the chat, even when you're not a guest. So your presence is always made known.
Well, I hope people stay active in the chat, and maybe we'll get some good input from our
I have faith in our
audience.
I have faith in our live chat room. They're always right on top of things.
Yes.
So tonight we are talking with GSM times 2 about webcams.
Dun, dun, dun.
I like webcams. I think our title is, Should Webcams Return? To which I say, yes. Thanks for joining us. Good night. Oh.
If you can't stay long, this is the short episode.
That's the TLDR.
The episode for people with short attention spans.
That's right.
Exactly. That's me. So
okay.
Take care.
All right. Well, we're going to get into that in just a few minutes. But first, we want to say a little quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons. They help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. We want to take a special thanks to Landsharks. They are one of our corporate Denali level sponsors. They're moving to a new location. We'll be open on Monday, July the 5th. The plan is to be open at that new location, up and running. It's like you'll hardly even know that they moved, but it's going to be awesome and closer to the water, which the sharks like. We also want to thank our corporate Denali level sponsor, Gold Country Geotourism, a recent guest on the podcast here. They want to remind you to start planning for when travel opens back up by visiting exploregoldcountry.com. You can learn more about the geotour and the whole Gold Country region. Visit, once again, exploregoldcountry.com to learn more. And if you would like to learn more about supporting this here very show, would you wander over to cashingnw.com and click that Patreon link?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Oh, you weren't talking to me. Yeah,
no, I was thanking the patrons, but thank you too for being here. It's fun hanging out with you on Thursday night at 9 p.m.
Thursday night.
Internet night.
I can tell you a story about Thursday at 3:30, but I won't do it right now.
We won't do that.
No. Hey, but what we should talk about right now is a glow.
What's a glow?
Yeah, it's the geocaching log of the week. Whether you read it or whether you wrote it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better.
How do we send them to you?
Right. You could send an email or a recording to feedback@cachingandw.com. You know what? You could even call into 253-693-TFTC and show us how you glow.
Just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it?
It really does, because I've said it a time or two.
Or 3. This week's glow was an R2D2 gadget cache FVCB4. That's GC98 Victor Mike Yankee. It was logged by Land Monkey.
Oh.
So, even when he doesn't show up and plays hooky on Thursday night, we could say he's on assignment. He's really just playing hooky.
He really is.
Yeah. He still makes his presence known here on the podcast anyway. So, the log reads, so funny story. We've actually come to Ground Zero before, but had not checked the cache page or anything in advance like a couple of total noobs. Good thing, though, was that we knew we'd be back in the park again, and this time came prepared. So, with the right taut in hand, we found R2 and gave him the boost he needed to start unlocking the compactor on the detention level. When the yelling stopped, we were concerned for a moment, but we realized that all was good. Nice work, R2. So, as long as the tractor beam is disabled, we'll be able to get out of here safely. Thanks, Gearhead, for another awesome cache. Yeah, and you know, if that old man didn't deactivate that tractor level, this is going to be one short ride, one short trip or something like that.
That's right. You got it. Boy. Hey, folks, if you want to join in the chat tonight, the chat is already very active. And welcome back, Carlos.
Yes.
He's, I believe, here from Tacoma with us, and he hasn't been on in a while. If you want to get in the chat tonight, use the hashtag webcam to bring up topics in tonight's show. And trust me, you're going to want to bring up topics in tonight's show. And of course, you can always use the hashtag FATAS. That's for the after show to bring up something. Well, I kind of spilled the beans in the after show.
It is kind of a circular hashtag thing. Yeah.
Yep.
After show's fun.
And we're happy to have GSM times 2. He was here not so long ago in episode 407. We're at 413. So if I do my math right, that's like 24 weeks in Canada. When
Something
you talk
like
about Route 66 Adventure Labs.
Yeah,
and
Yeah, we did.
You're doing more Adventure Labs because you just can't get enough. I'm sorry, adventures.
Adventures. Well, let me give you an update on the Route 66 adventures. We're going to have 90 of them. 83 of them were already active, so we're almost done. And then we identified 2 or 3 more that we want to do. So we're going to have a couple extra ones there in New Mexico to fill in some little blanks there. So
Nice.
yeah, so that's moving along really well. And then yeah, you're right. I just can't get it. I can't get enough adventures. You know, GCHQ. That is what their goal is, to send people out on adventures, and
That's right.
and I'm trying to help. And so we're doing California Highway 1, which is Big Sur down to Camp Pendleton. Actually, all the way from Mendocino County down to Camp Pendleton. So it's moving along.
Now, is California Highway 1 and Pacific Coast Highway, are those interchangeable terms?
No. No. In Southern California, it's kind of called PCH, Pacific Coast Highway. Up in Northern California and I believe up into Washington, Pacific Coast Highway is US 101. So
right. Okay.
they're not interchangeable.
Yeah, guess which part of California I grew up in?
Southern California.
Yeah, Huntington Beach, down that area, yeah. It was PCH Highway 1, same thing down there. But I couldn't remember if they were the same all the way up the coast.
Not
in any
all the way up
case,
the coast.
a great drive.
Beautiful drive, and should be very interesting. And of course, I got another great team going together, and just having a fabulous time, just enjoying the heck out of this.
And it's one of those fantastic drives on a motorcycle.
Yes, it would be.
But do be careful.
Yes, do be careful.
So, well, we love talking about adventures, adventure labs, and whatever you want to call them, but we also like talking about, well, caching in general, but tonight, webcams.
Yeah.
So we are really glad you're back, and tonight is all about webcams. So let's just jump into the deep end, because that's how we roll here.
Yeah,
Chris just pushes me right off the edge whether I'm ready or not. So tonight I'm pushing you in. Tell
good.
us some of
What a
your
fellow you are.
most memorable webcam finds.
Well, I got into geocaching in November 2004. So back when webcams were an odd thing, and the internet had just started up, you know, and things were moving along, and webcams were something new. Not just in geocaching, anywhere, everywhere. So they were very, very unusual. And then then geocaching, they allowed it to be an icon. I never really particularly picked up on it, but the first webcam that I got was back in 2005, and it was in the days when you had to get somebody on the phone, So we called my stepson in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and my wife and I said, hey, we're trying to get this webcam. Really a great webcam. It was up on the top of what was then the Holiday Inn, I think about 12 stories high. You could pan it, you could zoom it. It had pretty good resolution for that, that year. And so we stood out there on the promenade and were able to get a very legitimate webcam. Second webcam, not quite as legitimate, so I probably just scan over that, it went down the night before, and so I just took a picture of myself and posted it. And that really has created a problem with webcams of people not doing it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
The third one, I think it was about 2006, and that was a really cool one because I was down in San Diego, and I'd been down there a couple times, never had the time to get the webcam, but I was going to get my own webcam shot because I had a laptop and I had one of those little air cards.
Yeah, yep.
Which is still right down in here, and I meant to grab it, but that's okay. Not important. Don't need the visualization. But I found a bench, and I sat there with my computer and my web, and I took my own shot. And Chris, I don't know if you can go ahead and bring that first little selfie image up, and you'll just see it was tiny little shot.
Yeah, he's working on that. It's funny you mentioned having to call somebody because we all kind of did it back in the day. Limax said I did one webcam cache having someone screen capture me, and I did one trying to capture myself on my iPad too, which was a lot of work way back then. And I can relate. I have done similar things.
Yeah. I'm sure that everybody who's been doing for a long time. So there you go. There's my wife. There's the first webcam shot I've ever had. That's my wife and I standing on the promenade. And
your wife is there with Gilligan, I think. Is that what it looks like?
And let me zoom in and show the real quality of this.
High quality. Exactly. And and then if you can get that third shot, that other link down there, that's even higher quality. So I mean, Chris, what was your first webcam?
My first one, oh man, you're not kidding. This one is high quality. Hey, hang on, I gotta put it up here, just because. Wow. Apparently, you were sad that day because everything around you is blue.
Yes, right.
Everything around me was blue, and I'm sitting there with a laptop and my little air card, and I'm excited as can be. My gosh, I'm taking my own. I'm hot stuff.
I can relate. We did that same kind of thing. We captured our own webcam image. You'd have thought we discovered plutonium. We were so excited.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. It was so advanced.
The first webcam I did was right here in Tacoma at the University of Washington in Tacoma.
Me too.
It was called Go Dogs. Did we do it on the same day?
We did it together. Separately? My log shows both of us in the same picture. Okay.
So that was back in 2004.
I was going to say, Scott, you mentioned November of 2004. That was the month we found that webcam cache, our very first.
Fantastic.
So then we had to call someone to help us out there.
Yeah. I remember called my friend Craig. He worked nearby. Yeah.
And then I waited 5 years before I found my next one.
Oh, see, I found two more in 2005, another one in 2006 that Mr. of the Northwest helped me find from Boston. And one in 2008, and then one in 2019. I only have 6, but 4 of those are still active.
Ooh, that's a pretty good percentage. I only have 11, 6 of which are still active. So apparently taking a webcam shot of me, about 50% of the time will break the camera.
Yeah. Well, and let's make sure that people understand you got to have the webcam. Don't take a selfie. Yeah. We are losing webcams. We lost a lot of webcams, and one of the reasons we lose them is people will take a selfie instead of working hard to get the shot.
Right.
I think a great example is your eye on the I-5, or what is that called?
Oh yeah, high five
High
over
five.
I-5.
Over I-5.
Yeah.
And I think for both Wits End and I, this is one of the highlight webcams just because of its difficulty.
Yeah,
here,
it's a Washington State Department of Transportation traffic camera, and it's not always pointed in a direction to which you can stand in the field of view.
Mm-hmm.
So when it is pointed the right way, all the planets align, you can stand in that spot and get on the camera. And I want to say 90% of the time it's not pointed this way.
I got to say, I've watched it probably for 7 years.
Yes, me too.
And I was really excited when it was, oh, look. Now, there happened to be construction, so they pointed the camera slightly differently, but I could still be in the field of view in, like, maybe a block short of where it normally would be had it been pointing south. Normally it points north. And when it does that, there's no way to stand in the field of view because it's on the north side of the bridge.
Right.
And you've got to be some sort of acrobat.
Yep.
So yeah, getting that in at the right time, facing the right way is luck of the draw, really. So I'm very proud of that one.
Well, and as long as we're sharing pictures.
Oh,
yes, because like we were talking back in the day when you had to call somebody or know somebody or make some connection to have somebody else save your picture. I called Mr. of the Northwest when I was on vacation in Boston and got this one. And if you look closely, there's me. I took it in 2006. And
you were young and spry, weren't you?
I was much younger and much sprier than I am today. This is very true. And if you look closely at the picture, astute watchers will observe that I'm on my flip phone there because, well, nobody had ever heard of anything else but a flip phone back in the day. Had to get nice and close there, but that was a memorable one. The only one I have from Boston, from the Massachusetts area. So.
But I think, didn't you take one of Chris? That's one of the classic pictures of all times.
Very likely.
Well, yeah. So, okay, give a little history. We were at the WSGA, the Washington State Geocaching Association GeoCafe. Happens every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. There you go, MC3 Cats. That came for free. And GSM Times 2 was talking about webcams. And I thought, you know what? That's a great topic. You know what? Let's get him on while the iron's hot here. So I happen to be at the Alamo. I'm looking to share a screen here, and I'm trying to talk, and I'm a man, and I can't do two things.
The stars at night are big and bright. Never mind.
And the nice thing about by the Alamo is it's cool and calm, and
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I was there in July or August or something.
June 14th, I think, roughly.
Or June.
It was like a Tuesday.
At 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You really remember this, don't you?
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, I think it was 2011, I want to say.
Yeah. Let me tell the story, okay?
Okay, you go ahead.
I want to make it in August, and it was 18,000 degrees outside.
Celsius.
Yeah. And I'm at the Alamo and, call up Wits End. Hey, snap a shot for me. And wouldn't you know, I found the webcam, stood in front of it, and the bus goes by right at the moment. One of those
cameras that does a snapshot every 10 minutes or something.
Exactly, every 10 minutes. So we did have to wait there in the, I don't know how to share a screen, in the sun, in the heat. And there I am. Look at me. I probably am on flip phone myself in 2011.
Yeah, you were like all of 12 pixels there.
But you can tell it's the Alamo.
Yeah, and I could tell it was you. At least I could in 2011.
Yeah. I think I was able to get rid of the sunburn by the time I came home. But it was hot out there. It was a 10-minute refresh of the webcam. And it's just one of those things of like, 10 minutes is a long time when you're just standing there waiting.
Yeah.
Did it happen yet? What about now? What about now? Carlos says you must have gotten my good side.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is the best webcam photos of me with that bus in front.
So, and I think some of the people in the chat have found some webcams too, huh?
Let's see.
Ooh, Cliff. It's like the webcam.
Yeah, Sirius
king.
98. 23 finds, 16 of those are still active. So that's really awesome. And apparently there are only 5 webcams left in all of Canada, one of which is currently disabled.
So we did a quick search. There are about 100 webcams left in the U.S., 235 left in the entire
Worldwide, yeah.
world. So there aren't many left.
No, I mean, and I venture to say that this is not one of the more common webcam or geocache types in all of geocaching history. There were probably several hundred, probably less than 1,000. I'm just guessing, since the dawn of geocaching time began. So 235 is what, maybe a quarter of all the caches active ever? Or
Yeah.
webcam caches.
And, you know, a lot of the webcam caches went away because the webcams went away,
Correct.
right? They weren't all that reliable back then. Or the tenant moved buildings, right? Whoever had that webcam up moved and, oh, we're not going to put one up anymore. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
So we have the question: is should we bring back webcams? And this was an interesting. I was at GeoWoodstock in North Carolina, and at that time, virtuals. You know, can we bring back virtuals? And so they had, as they always do, some lackeys, and they had some reviewers up there doing talk. And one of the lackeys, fielding the question about are we ever going to get virtuals, he said, you know, if Groundspeak forbid micros today, grandfathered them, 10 years from now, the only micros that would be left would be the best of the micros, and people would cherish micros.
True.
And that made me think, of virtuals, and also makes me think of webcams. Because do people love webcams, or they love the fact that there's not many webcams?
Oh,
what do you guys think? What does the chat think?
Yeah, I was going to say the chat probably has better range of opinions. I don't care about icons. I just love webcams. So, but I'm weird. I'll admit that straight up.
I second.
That I'm weird, or that you? Yeah. Okay. I assumed that. I just want to clarify.
I also love webcams. I love the idea of a webcam, right? I mean, now that the world has been through lockdown and pandemic, and you know, how many zoos put up webcams and people are watching baby animals, 18 hours a day because, well, they don't have a lot else to do. So webcams have really made a huge return, I think, into the public consciousness. And there are so many great webcams out there of historic spots that show 24/7, Hawaii, Florida, Texas. I don't know. Where else do people want to go?
Let's just say they're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
And so if people wanted webcams, they're everywhere. So here's a thought. If people really want webcams and they don't really care about the icons, why don't those people who have an adventure credit include a webcam as one of their locations?
Oh, see, now I have a credit that I've not used, and you've just inspired me to look for a webcam to do that.
You're going to do the i5 cameras right up and down the corridor, right?
I could. That might be a little difficult, but it is possible.
Now, I don't think you can upload a picture to a adventure, can you?
You cannot. So what you need to do is you do have to have a bonus cache, and then and you can't require this. I mean, let's not get ourselves in trouble. Let's just encourage to show your appreciation and to encourage GCHQ to consider bringing back webcams. Encourage people to include a shot from the webcam in their bonus in their bonus log.
Yeah.
IHAM says, please. Oh, wait. Please bring back webcam caches. Yes, I do have an opinion on this.
Absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of us that have been caching for a little while, like Limax says, I remember webcams a lot when I first started geocaching.
Mm-hmm.
He has 3. And I looked down through the list here a little bit. Oh, gosh, I lost it already. I showed you that one already. Dormore said I had to learn how to capture a screenshot on my phone to get one in Scotland. It was way easier than I thought. So that's great. IHAM also mentioned he got
she
one.
Also had a great story.
Yeah.
Teaching her dad.
Oh,
Yeah, I had to teach my then 84-year-old dad how to capture a screenshot for me when we did one in Halifax. Big arrow taped to the key on his keyboard.
Perfect. Yeah, I did the same thing when Chris of the Northwest took my photo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He had to be there for 2.5 hours while I had to figure this out.
Yeah. Limex says, I think there's still a webcam near where we used to have a cabin in Idaho. IHAM can relate to your Verizon dongle on the laptop story. Did the same thing for that one in Tacoma.
Starcacher did the same thing. My first was the laptop using nearby restaurant Wi-Fi. Second one done by a geo friend on his phone. I did not have a smartphone. Third was just 2 weeks ago in Nashville. Laptop using local Wi-Fi. So
some webcams, 235, are still alive and well. And I mentioned I have 6, 4 of which are still active. Brylang says he has 8, 7 of them. So his percentage is better. He has a better batting average than I've got in the way of webcams anyway. They are still out there.
Wet Coaster says I found 5, 4 in Canada and 1 in Germany.
Oh, nice.
University of Alberta webcam is the only one archived that I've logged.
Okay. And similar to me, oops, I just lost it. Sprouter says, I have 14 and I am now inspired to put an adventure webcam lab.
Ooh.
So
got a little movement going on.
GSM 2 has started a trend tonight.
Fantastic.
MC3 Cats found 19 webcams.
That's right. That's great. That's like a Canadian dozen.
That's right. Peach has 10, all but 1 in Washington State. 8 of the 10 are still active.
Also a fantastic batting average.
Yeah.
And Washington has quite a few of them. I mean, if you consider there's only 100 in the United States. And
it's almost like geocaching started here or something.
Funny thing. And GSM times 2, apparently you are the Yoda of geocaching.
I wish I could do a Yoda joke, but
help us, you will. Yeah.
Thank you. I try. Oh no, I don't try.
There is no try.
There is no
only
try.
do.
That's
only
right.
Do, or don't. Okay.
Well, webcams are awesome, and like a lot of Dormore's found 4, but I was going to say, like a lot of geocaches in general, location is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And CRS98 said his favorite was at the top of Mount Washington in New Hampshire, and as he says, to be honest, it's all about the location.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is. And, and that's really kind of some of the sad things about what's still out there is some of them aren't the best locations. I was in Washington and I did a legitimate webcam standing illegally on the on-ramp on one of the freeways. and we're that big next to a tree. Right. But and I think you guys have probably done the same webcam. And that's not very impressive. No.
So if we're going to bring these back, what could that be an option? How would that work?
Well, if I was the Yoda of geocaching.
Apparently you are. The chat has declared it so.
Yeah. I actually sent a modest proposal to Brian Roth. So I'm not speaking behind his back. I hope. I hope you read it. And this was be my proposal. My proposal is that they set a goal of getting about 500 new webcams. We can't just open it up. There are now way too many. I don't want somebody having a webcam where I have to go in their front door and stand in front of the Ring camera to get my web shot. So let's set a reasonable goal of about 500. They seem to like to enlist about 2,000 people. So why don't you send out 2,000 invitations for people to submit proposals for a webcam? They would have to send you the link to the webcam, tell you why would be a good one. Location
That's right.
is
Mhm.
a place to take people on an adventure, just to fit into their goals. A reliability of the webcam, what's the history, how often is it up, how long has it been up, and then the quality, is it a high quality, is it live, or is it shot every 10 minutes or every 20 minutes or every 30 minutes? Send in those proposals. I know that I and perhaps a lot of other geocachers would love to look over them and rate them on SurveyMonkey or something like that. Maybe some of the lackeys are interested in this, and they would help the review. And let's see if we can get 500 worldwide. Oh, and then the other thing, of course, that would be important is we want to distribute these evenly. So
Yes.
So not to try and
Right.
put Washington at risk, but let's not say, hey, okay, our algorithm is going to be people who have found at least 10, that we're going to send it to them, because the people in Washington, they can find that many. The people where there are no webcams, they're just not going to qualify for that. So let's figure whatever our algorithm is going to be. Let's try and get it, and then as part of the evaluation process, let's try and spread them out evenly. And then, of course, the person who first proposed this probably should at least get a shot at it. Okay, a shot.
Okay.
And Chris, I actually, if I think you could probably show you what my submission would look like.
Yeah.
It's actually linked down there. Oh, Yoda, great idea he has. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. And if not, maybe I didn't put it in there. Go to venturaharbor.com.
I was going to say, I thought I had it open, but I can't find it now.
Okay. Just venturaharbor.com. And then on the left-hand side, towards the bottom, you'll see the webcam.
While he's looking, I'll tell you that you mentioned Brian Roth. He showed up. I got to go to an event this week, and he showed up with Alligator, who went from cashier to cashier being adored. So, yes, that was awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was a fun little event. There was a group of us there. Fun event.
Nice.
Okay,
Apparently
I stalled
I'm
for you, Chris.
I'm a pirate because I put extra R's into harbor.
Yeah.
So, and kind of as you're doing it, the kind of the nice thing about venturaharbor.com is I actually have a connection down there. So if that camera actually went down, I would be able to make a phone call, talk to somebody on first name basis, and see if we can get that back up.
Apparently it's dark now.
Apparently it's dark, but this is a live camera. You can tell because the lights on the jetties are flashing.
Mm-hmm.
There, right on the sidewalk, is a pretty good shot. And this camera is up 24 hours a day, 366 days a year in leap years, and it's very reliable. And like I said, if it went down,
That's
I
good.
would have.
That's more reliable than I am.
Yeah, me too. So there's my proposal, Chris. So if you were, what do you think?
Well, to throw out against your, not against, but for the sake of discussion for your proposal, Chad Lackey would like to play devil's advocate.
Certainly.
He says the GDPR and other privacy laws, well, they mean photos of people cannot be required anymore. So this has affected logging requirements for virtual rewards and earth caches. How would webcams continue when a photo of a geocacher cannot be required?
Okay. Can you turn their back? Can you turn your back to them? Would that be allowed? Could you not require them to have a facial shot, or could you let them put a piece of paper above their face so that you couldn't do a facial shot?
Should be an option, yes. I did a virtual this week with required a picture of a GPSR or your thumb.
Or your thumb. Or
I did both, but
yeah, I don't know exactly how to answer all of those, but I think that there are ways around this, and
That's
and
right. There are.
and there's 235 of them worldwide. If we could get it up to 735
that would be fun.
evenly distributed, I think it improves the game.
And if nothing else, geocachers are creative, and they will find ways to get it done.
Well, and you're not required to go find a webcam. If you don't want your picture taken, don't go to a webcam. You don't have
to go.
No.
Right?
And if you don't want your picture taken, send out your 8-year-old child and take a picture of them.
And quite frankly, some of the webcam photos that I've posted for my logs, you couldn't tell who's in the picture anyway.
Yeah, but let's try and get better webcams out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Carlos says we could bring back webcam as a reward on the opposite years of virtuals.
That could work.
Right? So it seems like they give out virtuals every 2 years. They could do a webcam on the opposite 2 years, kind of like the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. And
yes, I agree with the privacy concerns. There's nothing that's making you do any geocache, right? If you look at something on the side of a cliff and go, nope, that's too dangerous, I'm not doing it. Does that mean, oh no, geocaching is bad and we must stop it all? No. So the same with webcam. If you don't want your picture taken, don't go there.
That's right.
And I understand privacy concerns and all that, but what if there's a webcam there and you continue to walk? Let's say you're walking along the Ventura Harbor promenade there, right?
Yep.
And there's a webcam there. You're going to be on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's privacy concerns. So your choice is either not to walk there or, wear a hoodie all the time in 105 degrees. I don't know. I don't know.
Either, hold up a piece of paper that says GSM ×2. Is that going to qualify? That or something.
Apparently there are no other geocaching sites. Sorry.
Agreed.
I forgot. Yeah.
Well,
cachers are not required to find webcams. Hence, you can avoid getting your image on the internet. So,
well, at least you can avoid getting your image on geocaching.com's website. Pretty much you're guaranteed you're going to be on some website somewhere, whether you want to be or not.
Doramore says it might be the Muggle bystanders that are the privacy ishes. Then again,
I'm not a lawyer. You're in a public place. You're in a public place.
So if you take a selfie of yourself, right, and there's somebody behind you, and you post that on the social medias, the Instagrams, the Twitters, the Facebooks, can they come back and say, no, you have to take this picture down? I wish I had thought of this prior to being on the air tonight, that I could actually have some information, but I just thought of it now.
Well, they can always say it. The better question is, you mentioned taking a selfie of yourself, and I'd like to know how you can take a selfie of someone else, because that doesn't seem right.
You take a themsy.
A themsy, okay.
And I would, no. Again, I hate to speculate, so I'm not going to.
And your image is on the internet.
Yes, that's right. If you don't want to be on camera, then don't travel on public transit.
Right.
Yeah, or go anywhere else, really.
Don't go to a named ATM machine.
Yeah, exactly. Don't drive through, toll booths or photo enforced stoplights.
Right.
Cameras are everywhere. They're a part of our society.
Yep.
And I know people who don't want their picture taken, right? Hey, let's get together for a group photo. No, I don't want to be in it.
Right.
Oh,
You know, it would be a great.
okay.
Brian Roth is a lawyer,
Mhm.
and pretty up on these privacy laws
Right.
in public. Maybe we could pose this question to him. But
And I think you already have.
I don't know that. I hope he watches this.
Oh yes, every week. He's usually in the chat. No, I don't know.
Yeah, if
So
you don't
anyways,
want your
that
picture
was-
taken, just wear a face mask all the time.
There
Oh,
you go.
wait.
That's exactly what West Coast.
Yeah,
West
that's not a hot topic at all. Never mind. Moving on.
Exactly.
Oh, Gearhead says I want to get to the Abbey Roads Beetle.
Oh, I
The
do too,
Abbey
even
Road
if I don't
Beetles
show up on the webcam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
I'll go barefoot.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
or the Old Faithful webcam. I would.
Yeah, there you go.
There's not a webcam at. There is a webcam at Old Faithful. There is not a webcam on geocaching.com.
Yeah.
Old Faithful.
Gotcha. I think I would do one like a bear enclosure. You know, you see the bears at the zoo.
Difficulty 5.
Yes.
Let's up the
That-
difficulty rating.
Yeah. Let's make it refresh every 10 minutes. Good luck.
This is why we have people. This is why we're not just giving them out. We're having people propose them and having them evaluated. So the Tiger webcam at the LA Zoo is going to be hopefully rejected by the crowd.
Now, are the new virtuals approved or rated by?
No, they were awarded,
Yes.
and people submitted them, and reviewers published them.
So, if you want them reviewed by somebody, that does add a level of work that isn't there currently.
That is correct, and that's why and let's not put it on the 88 people who are at GCHQ.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it on the community, maybe some influencers, and with some oversight. Maybe the people, the public who is the geocachers who are reviewing, they will submit a list, and GCHQ and their committee can approve. Something along those lines.
I like it.
Yeah, there's all kinds of ways to make this work.
I was just going
Jim
to
wants
put that up. Yeah, if you start
wants to
changing
try to do
difficulty ratings,
The fizzy of webcams.
fizzy of webcams, that would be an accomplishment.
That would be an accomplishment. All right. Well, anyways, that's my modest proposal, and my other thing that we can do right away
Mhm.
is if you have an adventure credit, include one webcam. Show your support for webcams by including one webcam in your adventure credit.
Love it. So, Wits End, you're going to do your adventure credit with 5 webcams? And cache at the
5
end
might
and
be a
something?
little steep, but
Okay.
I am going to start exploring how I might be able to incorporate a webcam into an adventure.
Nice.
You're still going to have to ask some question that they can answer, but
Mhm.
ask them to take a picture.
What-
and
what's
and
the
if
model of the
it's not a requirement.
What is the resolution of the webcam?
Yeah. What's the make of the webcam?
There you go.
Is this a dome or is this an eye or whatever? Yeah.
There you go.
So
yeah,
That's
I
it.
mean, I know there are a lot of news stations that have, fixed cameras.
Hmm.
Now, those are usually big, wide shots, so getting into those might be difficult, but there are plenty of high quality webcams available. I thought this was a very valid discussion, and I wanted to bring it up to the caching in the Northwest community. Thank you so much, GSM times Yoda.
Oh, Yoda times 2?
Yoda times 2.
I'm just sticking with it. I built up a reputation, good or bad. We'll just live by this.
Okay. So on your new, what do you want to say, power trail of adventures? Are any of them webcam related?
Please do not use the word Power Trail and these adventure series.
Okay.
Okay. If Route
Oh,
66, Route 66 is 48 miles long. If that was a power trail, there'd be 24,000 geocaches. There are about 780. They're about 3.5 miles away from each other. The average adventure is 29.5 miles long. They are not power trails.
Okay. Could you make a power trail of webcams though?
In some states, you probably can.
Have you seen I-5? Yeah, you probably can.
You could do it in China or North Korea. I'm absolutely positive.
Absolutely.
London, I hear there are cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how we could get geocaching, say, in China and North Korea.
Let us, please. It's a modest proposal. Let's not screw it up by figuring out all these other things that we could do here.
Oh, he doesn't know us very well, does he?
Yeah.
Well, I was listening to Brian on listening to Brian on a podcast, and they said, could you ever imagine that when you introduced adventure labs, using the old terms, that it would extend to something like the Lincoln Highway? And he said, we've been at this for 20 years, and we know that geocachers will come up with something.
Yes.
And that's so true.
Yeah. How true it is, because, they'll come up with some unique way to spin it that was never even conceived of.
Yep. And often for the better.
Mm-hmm. Brian Lang says, if webcams come back, I would ask that highway cams be excluded.
Actually, I think that's really a good suggestion. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah, I was just going to say.
The dad joke? Uh-huh. What did Yoda say after seeing himself on a 4K webcam?
HDMI.
Oh. Mic drop.
And on that bombshell.
Oh, boy. Okay. Hey, folks, thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Caching in the Northwest, and we want to take a moment to thank Landsharks and Gold Country Geotourism, our corporate Denali level sponsors. That's right. Let's play that. Landsharks is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online, and they ship orders daily. And for amazing geocaching adventures, make sure you check out exploregoldcountry.com.
Great website, great area, great group of geocaches. Mm-hmm. We would also like to thank our faithful Denali level supporters. That is Landsharks, Gold Country Geo Tour, but also Teen Squirrel, Groovy Owl, and Cashly. If you want to know more about supporting this show, click the Patreon link. That's on the CachingNW.com website.
Thank you. I don't know how
had to do it at
follow
least
up
once.
You didn't do.
That's right. Yeah.
Just like Fairwood West did.
And T-Sayer.
And Camp Clan.
CRS 98.
Greenwords.
Doramore.
Tick Magnet.
LG 9000.
B Pendragon.
UDAC.
On a Boat.
MC3 Cats. Hope you're feeling better.
Logwork.
Kev MacD.
3 Hams. And a Rose.
M-Nerve.
Broncos fan for life.
Wino Seattle.
Trexer 0.
Seebeck Tribe.
Utox 2 Rocks.
Segehov.
Ari 54321.
The Geo Travelers.
Acker Doc.
Donners.
Kid Vegas 19.
Subway Mark.
Sprouter.
Antaeus.
Cannel Barb.
Keats 94.
Boomer 365.
Alarobrick.
Limax.
YODA ×2.
Okay. GeoNav Pros.
Genies.
Kitty Quest.
Team Noltex.
Wet Coaster,
Beach of Washington.
and just finding our way.
All those people are awesome. We love having all of you in the chat. Love all of you as patrons. We just enjoy spending Thursday night hanging out with all of you guys. Or we enjoy spending time between your earbuds someday down the road when you're listening to us later on. It's all good. We like hanging out. And we like hanging out with Yoda times 2. I sense maybe a geocaching handle change somewhere. Or not. Maybe we'll just get a little inside. Yeah. Let's say somebody wanted to reach out and get in touch with Yoda times 2. Let's ask GSM times 2 how to do that.
The best way to get hold of me is through the GCHQ messaging. I really love that format.
It works well. I've chatted just this week with several cachers. Works great.
Yep.
So, Mr. of the Northwest, what time is it?
Why? To our last segment, a segment we call At Last.
Oh.
The last means listeners ask some things. And now we get to answer. So would you like to ask some things? I think you would. I think you need to call into 253-693-TFTC or email your last question. That may come out wrong. To feedback@cachingNW.com. Now, tonight's question. It's a little personal, but not really. Does your current car have a name? Have you named your car? And if so, what is it?
It's not Oliver, but that was a really good car name.
Yes. I shall name it Oliver.
Yeah.
Within, have you named your car?
I've not. I've not named any cars that I've owned, other than the name that's printed on the fender badge when I bought it. I've had several cars, some of which I think Adam Sandler wrote a song about. Not my current one. It's pretty good. But I really haven't given them any names.
My current car, no. The only car I ever named was a Ford Ranger, and I can't tell you what the name was.
Meaning you can't tell it on...
I'm
family
saying
friendly.
that after owning that car for about a year, I had a name for it, and I can't share it on public forums.
I think my kids named most of our cars. My wife named the last one that I remember. We still have it. It's a kind of a shiny white, and she calls it Pearl.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
But I'm thinking the two I have now, I don't have a name for them.
Yeah, I don't know either. I will tell you that my aunt and uncle, when they met, she owned a car before they met that she was quite fond of, and she called it Gracie Slick. He was not fond of it. He called it Greasy Slug.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, my mom used to have a car. It was gray. She named it Slate.
Okay.
We used to have a car. The kids called it Ruby. I'll let you guess what color it was.
Black.
So I guess we name cars by colors.
Okay.
There you go. I don't know.
I had called my cars names, but like GSM times 2, I choose not to repeat them in this context. Usually is when I was sitting on the side of the road somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, mine was an abbreviation for positive.
Okay.
Shortened.
Nice.
Shortened. Yeah.
Peach calls hers White Lightning.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that. That's appropriate.
Let's see. Brylang has a white Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk. Have not named it, but thinking we should call it Skookum.
Have to check in.
Carlos has the Millennium Subaru. We can't get those words out together. Oh, even hung metal dice that he received from the Solo movie.
Oh,
premiere.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's it.
No point naming them. They won't come when you call them. So I bet some of the new ones will, right? You can press a button and have it come back from its parking spot.
What if it's named Kit?
Ooh.
Kit came when you called it.
Ooh. Good thinking.
His Dodge Dakota is Old Man Grayson, or OMG for short.
Okay.
Oh, let's see. Nope, cars are just inanimate objects. Sorry.
I agree.
Name mine the Midnight Cruiser. Or the Midnight Cruiser is mine. Okay. There you go. So, mixed bag. Yeah, some people name their cars, others don't.
Yep.
But folks, we want to thank you, not for naming a car, but for listening to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, click the Patreon link on the CachingNW.com website. And if you didn't like the show, tell us what you want us to talk about. In either case, subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and more. Subscribe and give us a review. You can call into 253-693-TFTC. Leave us a comment, ask us a question, or help us take that webcam photo any time of the day or night. And of course, you can always email us, feedback@cachingNW.com. And you could email us the webcam photo there as well. Join us every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Pacific, for a live show and chat. This show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, and Jay Kennedy. It's licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2021 by Chris Umfenauer. And folks, now it's time to stay tuned for
The After Show.
Oh, that was quick tonight.
the after show. What was quick?
Just right on top of your words, jumped right in there. After show.
Caffeine's finally kicking in. Now I got
Must
to go
be.
to bed.
Okay. What we got tonight?
I don't know. Limax wants to talk about fluffy bunnies.
Okay, well, he asked for it.
And you know
Might
what
be
it
waiting.
takes.
Might be waiting a while, but we'll put that in the list.
With the $1 million guarantee.
We do offer that $1 million guarantee. It's still good. You give us $1 million, we guarantee to talk about anything you want.
Oh, let's see. Carlos says, when is the Canadian-U.S. border slated to open again so we can geocache up there? Well, the current border closing is until July 21st.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if it got extended.
Well, they only extended it a month. So I like that they're doing it, shorter periods of time rather than 3 months and 6 months and 2.5 years.
I'll say this, it is getting closer. And I know that's stating the obvious, but I really do think it's closer, shorter time than some of the times in the past. They've just kept pushing the date out with no real hope of ever reaching it. I think we are getting close to achieving an open time. So,
yeah. So, Americans are getting closer to returning to normalcy, and the Canadians are not too far behind. So it'll be nice when we can get up there and share geocaching with our Canadian friends again. CRS98 says, epic geocaching road trip. That's a hashtag geocaching road trip to Central Washington planned tomorrow.
oh, good.
Hope to plant half a dozen or more earth caches. There's no monkey to drool over the prospecting.
I tell you, I had lunch. Because I had lunch Tuesday in Moses Lake over there, and the waitress said, one of the customers just showed me their phone with the forecast for this weekend. It was forecast to be 118 degrees on Sunday. So stay cool over there. Stay hydrated. Stay safe.
Wow. I would take a lot of water and some extra coolant.
Yes.
It's supposed to be 104 here Sunday.
Yeah,
Which,
Sunday and Monday, last I heard.
Yeah, Monday's down to 103.
Okay.
And is that a wet heat?
Relatively.
Yeah, I would think so.
It's something super uncomfortable for a region that the vast majority of people do not own air conditioning in their homes.
Right. I've always said you only need air conditioning about 2 weeks a year here in the Northwest. And when those 2 weeks comes, it's really nice to have it.
Yeah.
We're planning to go out and eat. Sunday
See a
night.
movie, go to the library. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just drive around and do some adventures. Let's see. Dora Moore is planning a geezer group caching adventure, going kayaking with people who are all injured in some way.
Okay.
All of us have enough working parts for one able-bodied cacher.
Sounds good.
Aren't we all injured in some way?
So if you get a 2-person kayak, so one of you can pedal on the right side and one on the left, is that how that works?
Oh yeah. Carlos asks, does anyone else notice a new attribute for a power trail?
Nope.
It's been out there for a while.
That was a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
They added that so they could take away, they could use the scuba cache where it was really intended.
Okay.
Not along the roads in New Mexico. Well, folks, thank you for joining us tonight. We've really enjoyed having GSM or YODA times 2
Yeah.
with us tonight. And until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.